Hey, welcome back to Suzanne Moves. Today I have a foam roller workout for us, and it's going to be about stretch and release. So it's a feel-good kind of workout. Thank you so much for pressing play and joining me today. If you enjoy the workout, I would love it if you would press subscribe and click the little bell button so that I can keep you aware of future content. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. If you've got a foam roller, go grab it and bring it to your little workout spot. And we're gonna get to moving and talking about stretch and release. So I'm gonna have the foam roller just laying here, and I'm gonna sit in front of it and then bring my back down to the roller. So once my back connects, I wanna lace my hands behind my head and just support my head a little bit here. I'm gonna bend my legs, and then lifting up the hips, I can find a nice little back roll out here, a little back massage. So exploring the range of motion that feels good to you, coming clear up to the neck area and going down to the lower ribs. Feels pretty good. It's really nice, easy self-massage. And you can always drop your hips down and expand your chest over the top of the foam roller. This is really good for our upper body. We can also lengthen out the arms here and just find some spinal extension. The one thing I'll just note is that you might want to keep your hair out of the way so it doesn't get pulled under the foam roller. So yeah, this feels quite lovely, and I would be fine to stay here for longer. And then you can always drop the hips down and hang out in one spot and do a little bit of side to side rolling if that sounds good to you. We're gonna work on the lats here, so the back rib cage area. So for the lats, what we're gonna do is shift our weight to one hip and lighten up on the other side. I've got a bent leg that just gives me a little bit of lift here as I roll through the back of the shoulder and the lat here. So adjusting my position just a little bit, rolling forward and back. And now switching to the other side. So just shifting your weight to your opposite hip. I'm gonna go ahead and raise the hips up and just work through this other lat. Good, and you will offer the right amount of tension here. We're moving on to the glutes. So what we're gonna do is just lift ourselves up so that we can take a seat on the roller. And we can start off centered, rolling backward and forward a little bit, which doesn't get as deep into the big glute muscles as if we turn on an angle. So that is the next thing to do. We're just gonna shift our weight to one hip and find some roll out here. So you could be dragging your leg along the floor or having it hovered up, but we're definitely now pivoted to one glute, getting the real meaty part of the glute, not the bony part, and it feels pretty wonderful. I did a bar workout yesterday that gave me sore glutes, so this is feeling fantastic. And I'm gonna go ahead and switch to the other side. So just shifting the weight, stretching the other leg out, and finding that forward back roll. So as you're going over a sore muscle, ideally we have the muscle as relaxed as possible for the rollout. Sometimes when you're feeling sore and you're putting a little pressure on that muscle, your inclination is to kind of tighten up. So we have to kind of just thoughtfully say, let's relax and breathe through the stretch. Awesome, so from here we're gonna go into the hamstrings, the hammies, and find a little stretch there. So we're just kind of moving down the back of the legs. And here we're just gonna kind of pull on through and press away. Your feet could be sliding or they could be raised up like my legs are. And again, with both legs sharing the pressure, it's not as intense. But if you want to make it a little more deep tissue, we're going to cross right leg over left, and now it's the lower left leg that's getting a deeper massage. And you can always add a little more angular twist to this. Let's switch out and get the other hamstring. Crossing the legs just kind of doubles up the weight on that one leg and gives you a little more of an intense, deeper tissue massage. Good, and then we're just gonna move right on to the calves. So we're gonna roll the roller a little bit lower here. Raise those hips up through your arms. So it's a bit of an arm workout, right? Just holding up your upper body here. Rolling out through the calves. And just like we did on the thighs, we can do a little crossover here and get a little heavier and a little deeper into the muscles. And switching, let's do the other leg. Crossing over here. Excellent work. It really is an upper body workout. It's like tricep presses and yes. All right. From here, we are going to go to the thighs. So we're gonna switch positions, come to more of a belly down. And I'm gonna walk myself out over the roller, get my thighs right up on top. And again, equal pressure in both of my legs. I'm gonna just roll over the meaty part of the thighs. So right up from the hip hinge to right above the knees. And we can find a little outer rotation with our feet and turn the thighs out a bit, working a little bit more on the inner side of the thigh. And then the opposite would be turning the toes in and getting a little bit of an outer thigh massage. Excellent. And now, probably the most challenging stretch and massage of all is the IT band, that outer thigh band right here. And so what we're gonna do is set ourselves up with support because it tends to be quite tender for most people. So we're gonna extend the lower leg out, but we can come up a little higher here. You definitely wanna provide that support so that you're not putting all of your weight on the outer thigh here. And you're gonna need to adjust your position forward or back to really get into the side of the outer thigh here. Good, so you might find a spot that feels a little bit more painful, a little bit more intense, and you can hang out there and try to relax the muscle as you roll over that spot. Breathing deeply here. I think I found my little sensitive spot. There it is. All right, and switching it out, let's do the other outer thigh here. So taking a little time to do self-massage and release the lactic acid buildup in our sore muscles can be a really worthwhile effort. It's relaxing, it's restorative, it's a little bit of the self-care that just makes us stronger in the long run, kind of giving our muscles a little TLC. Good, and as I said, kind of hanging out over the little tender spot with some deep breathing. Okay, so we're gonna work on inner thigh, and this is a little bit more awkward, and it's a bit of a mobility stretch as well. So we're gonna lay down beside the roller and do a little sideways action here, where the inner thigh is able to press into the roller. And if you've been doing a lot of plies or straddling kind of moves in your workout, you're gonna definitely enjoy a little inner thigh release. Okay, and we're gonna switch to the other side. Shift that roller over and bending the knee, so we've got the inner thigh able to roll across the top of the roller. And that bar class, yes, gave me some sore inner thighs as well. Excellent. Okay, so we're now going to find a position where we can actually lay down on the roller. And so I'm going to sit on the end and then slowly bring myself down. So the roller is under my head. It's also under my my sacrum and my tailbone here. And this is a nice place to find some arm mobility, some shoulder mobility work. So we're just gonna inhale the arms up, and they're gonna drop overhead and maybe even find the floor, and then we are gonna circle around to the hips. So this should feel really nice on your shoulders. Big range of motion, our shoulders working through. Good, and if you want to make the stretch a little more challenging, we're gonna not let the ribs pop up. So I'm gonna try to keep the ribs low as I circle the arms up and around. Previous to this, I was letting the ribs kind of pop up, and that feels nice too, and that's certainly fine and acceptable for stretching here. But if you also want to work on shoulder mobility, keeping the ribs down as you reach the arms overhead requires a little bit more from the shoulders. And this is our last shoulder roll. We're gonna reach the arms up to the sky and then let the shoulders slowly lower and wrap around the roller. And we'll reach up again. And then just let your shoulder blades wrap around the back of the roller. And last one, reach up and then lower and open the chest. Elbows can rest down here. Good, one arm up, one arm down, and working on shoulder mobility here. So one palm resting down, one lifting up, alternating, trying to keep those shoulders nice and even on the roller. And the roller is really good about keeping you lined up and centered. So doing this will help you notice if you have one shoulder with greater mobility, one shoulder with limited mobility. You will definitely notice that here. Good, and we could bring both arms up and then rotate and bring both arms down. Lifting, big chest expansion here. Exhaling, lowering. One more time, we're gonna raise it on up. It's really fairly challenging to keep the elbows down. And bring it lower. I'm just gonna slide off the side of the roller. And there you have it. A really simple, quick, full body stretch and release, especially helpful after a big workout that leaves you feeling a little bit sore. Remember to like and subscribe so I can bring you more creative content. Until next time, take care and be well.